got a question for everybody. Why do coaches love to claim that they're in the business, they're in the industry to teach life through their sport, and then only ever spend time with their players talking about what they did in the game, on film, on the court, on the rink, on the course? Coaches, you can't say you're a teacher of life and only ever discuss your sport. Teams of Men exists to help you have those conversations and weave actual life lessons into your coaching and drive a healthy manhood in your players. Here's something you can say the next time a man tells you to wait for the facts to come out in regards to a sexual assault allegation. Fam, the facts are out. Over the past 20 years of studies that look into the rates of actual false accusations, that number is less than 5%. Facts are out, bro. Here's something vital your players need to hear from you, coach. And they need to hear it from you because you are a source of truth for many of them. What she wears is never, ever, ever an invitation to her body outside of her consent. Two things, fellas, you must remember for when you stand up to a teammate that's using harmful, abusive, toxic language in your team room. Number one, they're going to flip that right back on you and question everything they can think of about you as a man. Steel yourself. This is going to happen. Number two, scan the room. As this person is running their mouth with this ish, look at your other teammates' eyes. You'll be able to tell who's on your side of the equation when it comes to what you heard being harmful and not welcome in your team room. Follow up with that teammate. Hey man, I saw you kind of had the same look I had when he said that ish. What do you think? Build strength in numbers, build a true community of non-tolerance for that nonsense in your team room. If you're a coach, hold up. Why do you think Dan Campbell, head coach of the Detroit Lions, resonated with so many folks via the Hard Knocks series on HBO? His Q rating from the series is through the roof right now, and the Lions just won, so they're 1-1 on the season. What's going on with this Dan Campbell thing? First of all, I'm in on the vibe. I'm pro Dan Campbell, but I don't think it's because of what a lot of people are latching on to. And I think it has a lot to do with what we believe here with Teams of Men. I don't claim to be at the Lions practices in the film room, and I'm well aware that the HBO series Hard Knocks is edited and cut. So I know they're showing their best and throwing out other things. But I think some other things are true, and I don't think you can hide it as a coach when it's real. I'm talking about authenticity. I'm not talking about Dan Campbell's muscles. I'm not talking about him having a chew in. I'm not talking even about him doing up downs with his players. The vibe you get from Dan Campbell is he is himself in all its warts. He is himself authentically, and his players buy into that guy's not faking it. That guy's not trying to be a coach. That guy's just himself with the job. Teams of Men wants coaches to show up authentically as themselves, even in vulnerability, when you don't measure up, when you do fail. We want you to share that with your players. We want you to be the real you. Dan Campbell does that. When you're the real you, when he's the real him, it gives permission to your players and the Detroit Lions to be the real them, to be the real themselves. When you have players show up as themselves with freedom of mind because they're not performing to some stereotype, they can be the ballers they want to be because they're clear.